Hi, welcome. Today's module will be the first part of a series of projects building a simple Tamagotchi monster pet that today's project will be introducing us to functions. Functions are reusable blocks of code that perform a specific task. And in today's example, we are going to use them as part of building a pet that will have certain emotions based on simple inputs and outputs. The old Tamagotchi pets were from the late 1990s. There were these little digital pets that you could carry around and take care of. You could feed them, you could watch them grow and develop. And throughout these modules, as we increase our coding capabilities and abilities, we will make our little monster pet more and more like the original pets. And we'll even explore some of the AI features of the microbit in this framework. But today we're going to start with our Bit Explorer or Makey Bit and turn this into our virtual pet monster, kind of like that Tamagotchi pet. And so let's do it today and start by putting the microbit in here and open up our coding window and get started. All right, so now here we are going to start a new project, and we're going to call this little Tamagotchi monster. Actually, let's just call it Pet Monster. All right, and create. Okay, so as I described, one of the first things we want to do is to think about what's going to happen with this monster. So simply put, we're going to have simple inputs and outputs, and based on these simple inputs and outputs, our little pet monster is going to be happy or sad, and maybe we can come up with another emotion. But let's first talk about happy and sad, and let's think about what these inputs and outputs can be. First, we're going to create emotions and use this concept of a function, a reusable series of blocks for the emotions. Why does this make sense? Well, these emotions, like being angry, can be derived from a number of things we do with our microbit. Maybe we change the eye color, maybe we change what the little button lights say in the front, and maybe it even makes a sound when it's in that emotion. That's a block of code that we will want to reuse over and over again for our pet, and we may even create additional emotions that are variants of that. So let's get started with our code, and first thing we're going to do is create this function. We go to functions, and we're going to call make a function. The first function, which is like in this one it says do something, let's call it be happy, and done. Okay, so now we have this function we've called be happy. Well, what would be happy look like? Well, one thing we could do is let's put a nice smiley face on there. I'm going to take the LED block and create a smile on the face, and maybe even like an open smiley face. You can play around with this. It's like an open mouth smiley face. There it is. He's happy. And let's also add the color of the eyes, and let's say we want it to have green eyes when it's happy. Remember, for the NeoPixels, we have to add the extension for the NeoPixels. We go to the NeoPixel blocks, set the strip. We go to on start, set NeoPixel strip at P16. We go to P16. It's got two LEDs. Remember, we also like to set the strip brightness a little lower than the full default brightness of 255. We're going to set it to 100. So on start, set the NeoPixel strip brightness, and then we're going to say NeoPixels show color for the strip, and we're going to make them green for this be happy. If we wanted to also make it have a sound, or you could go to the music blocks and find some cool music block, but for now let's just leave it like that. To make it simple to test, we're going to take this input. I'm going to take this on button A pressed, and that's, go there and go to the functions, and I'm going to say on button A pressed, call be happy. Well, now we have a be happy, and let's make another function that we will call it be sad. All right, so I'm going to just copy this and do it. Now it's a be happy too, because you can't have two functions by the same name. And I'm going to call this be sad. And this time I'm going to make the eyes red. Actually, you know what? Let's make them purple eyes. And we are going to make it a downward frown, which maybe it's not an open mouth frown, it's just a downward frown. There we are. So happy is the open mouth, and then the sad is red, is purple eyes. We're going to use another input on button B pressed. We're going to call that function be sad. All right, so now we have a simple program where we have these two emotions, be happy and be sad, and when we push a button, it does one or the other. Why didn't I just take this and put it inside one of these button press? Well, because I may add to this and create more features to what it means to be happy or to be sad, and when I've got that large block of code, I want to just easily say that's happy, that's sad, and change it all in one place in my code. So now we're going to plug this in to our microbit. Click on download. I just realized one quick thing I forgot to do. You'll see that in here I forgot to do the show neopixels but call in here. Each one of these has to have a show neopixel to show the strip. So I've added that there, and I'm going to download it again. And turn my thing on. Go back to my document camera. So when I push the A, he's happy. He's got a big smile, and he looks like that. And when I do this one, he's sad, and he's got a frown. So there we go. We've done a very simple input and output, happy, sad. And like I said, if we wanted to say add some more features to this, we could quickly do that. Go back here. Now I'm going to go to let's say we want to add some sound so that we play a melody when it's sad. And let's find a melody. Oops, not that way, from the gallery. It's the falling sound. Let's hear that. That's not very good. How about mystery? All right, let's call mystery in there. So it's going to play mystery when it's sad, and let's put another melody when it's happy. And in this case, I am going to play the melody from the gallery. Happy, let's see what the hopeful is. All right, we're going to use a hopeful melody. All right, so now we've got these two. Now, we've done this on button A and button B, and I'm going to show why it's kind of handy to use these as functions. For one thing, we've got this big block of code here that's going to call one of these. Now let's do another input. Let's say that when you shake it, it's sad. All right, so now I'm going to go back here, go to that function, and when you shake it, it's going to be sad. All right, so now let's download the code. Let's plug it in. And turn it back on. Okay, it's on. And let's see, I'm going to push A. And it's happy. And you can see it played the sound first and then it showed the smile. Maybe we want to reverse that in our code so that it smiles first and then plays it. And maybe looking at this, I think, well, that looks kind of weird. The smile's way too low. I want to move it around. You can see how, like, by having it as a block of code, I can just change it in one place and it changes everywhere. Everywhere I say be happy, it'll do whatever that one changes. I've also changed it so that either button B will do that, or if I shake it, and then it's unhappy. Now you can see that's a good example of why I may want to go back to the code and move that one section around. I want to move the sound after